All right, I'm gonna try my best to share this theory, but I want you to know that this is one of my conservative theories, and we're staying within the bounds of what science will allow me to, and I'm stretching it to the newest theories that are coming out and not actually concrete and accepted yet. So if we accept that the Denisovan find is 1 million years old, and we accept the gap that they say that there is a genetic divergence between when Denisovans become Denisovans and when Homo sapiens become Homo sapiens, and that's about 150,000 years. This essentially makes the earliest line of Homo sapiens over 1 million years old. So now that we got the age out of the way, the next question is, how advanced were we? I actually think the ancestor of our ancestor, Homo erectus, did a lot of work for us. There are signs of fire use going back to 1 to 1.5 million years ago. Also, Homo erectus spread out through Europe and Asia and persisted through climate fluctuations of cold, and I don't see how they did this without some type of protective clothing for their body. Essentially, I'm just saying that skills that our ancestors learned were passed down generation to generation through each evolution, eventually to us. Now for location. If we have Denisovans in East China as early as 1 million years ago, I'm going to go ahead and say I believe that we had Homo sapiens in that same area going back as early as 600,000 to 800,000 years ago. My theory actually pushed it a little bit even later to almost 1 million years ago, but I'm keeping it conservative for this. This is based off the logic that whenever the climate allowed, there would be plenty of corridors that would allow Homo sapiens to leave and exit Africa to then go into Asia and Europe, and allowing those that were in Asia and Europe to come back and migrate back into Africa. From there, I just made the next logical conclusion, and that is, if we have Homo sapiens in China as early as 600 to 800,000 years ago, I'm going to go ahead and say that we had Homo sapiens in America as early as 500,000 years ago. Will our government ever corroborate this statement by actually testing the hordes of remains that they keep locked behind private collections and museums? Never. But that's not going to stop me from making the theory. So the overall conclusion of this is that we had an interconnected global network of people living for over 1 million years among each other, allowing different lines and species to continue to survive, like the hobbits, the tree dwellers, the cave dwellers, keeping variety. Then, around 70,000 years ago, we get another divergence of another line, human Eurasians, because technically Neanderthals and Denisovans are Eurasians. And when these Homo sapien Eurasians decide to migrate back into Africa, they start changing everyone's culture. They start wiping out the diversity of the human species. Whole human lines disappear. Neanderthals disappear. Denisovans disappear. Hobbits disappear. Tree dwellers disappear. Cave dwellers disappear. I just find it highly suspicious that for 1 million years we have these overlapping groups persisting, living among each other, sharing cultures, and then all of a sudden, after 70,000 years ago, when this group diverges and then starts to expand after 50,000 years ago, that cooperation turns into dominance. It turns to erasure. It turns into trimming the diversity.